Welcome back to the No Culture for Old Men podcast. I'm Ben. You're here with Lawrence and my brother
What
James.
up? What up?
How y'all doing
What
today,
up?
fellas?
Doing good,
Welcome.
man. We here. It's Thursday. Friday's almost here. I'm very happy about that.
Before
We
we
skipped
go
a week, but we back.
way too far into anything, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Francis, you know who you are. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah, good point. We skipped a week, but we're back and better than ever.
Happy birthday to my mother today. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Deb, and happy Mother's Day to my mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy birthday to my wife Amanda, whose birthday was a few days.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
On the 21st. Yeah, look at that.
Everybody got birthdays in May. That's crazy.
This is a rough couple.
What astrological sign is that?
I don't know, but I know the birthstone is diamond. So that will explain my struggles.
Oh, okay, I get it. Well, that's nice, man. Good for you. I won't be like that when I grow
She's
up.
a Taurus. She's a Taurus. How could I forget that?
Oh, it's Taurus. There you go. See, when you old, that's what happens. It turn into diamond. It don't even matter what color the stone is anymore.
The birthstone.
When you old, that's what happens. You don't have to worry about amethyst and whatever that red one is, and the yellow and whatever all that is. It don't even matter. It's only going to be clear cut.
June is the wackest birth month as far as stones go.
What month is that?
June.
Wow, what color is it?
I think it's like the ruby or something. It's the
Oh yeah, that's the red one I'm talking about. So it's the ruby red.
Yeah, it's white.
How do y'all know all this stuff? I don't know none of that.
They used to actually teach that at one point in time in school.
I think the only reason I knew is because when I wanted to get my high school ring, they tell you
that's where you learned that. Sorry,
that's where I learned that.
They gave you the little book, and you look at the book, and it tell you all the stones and the colors and all that. So that's where you got it.
School wasn't my thing.
Yeah, that's what happens when you stay in school. You learn stuff like that.
That was your choice, Tyrone.
Yes, that was your choice.
It wasn't due to any deficiency. You were just being stupid.
Whatever.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into some of these topics today. We were sitting around talking, and we were going to talk about verses for a minute because we were wanting to know what verses we hadn't seen yet, and even if they could do it. So we were talking about some icons that we haven't seen yet, and we were wondering if Mary J. Blige, because everyone's talked about this before, but Mary J. Blige versus Mariah Carey. And we were running down the song list, and just me and Ty, we think Mariah gets her butt whipped and that easy.
Mary smoking her.
That's not even any competition. I don't even know why we talking about that.
So we couldn't.
Well, so who can Mary go against?
There's very few options for that. She'd have to go. I think it'd have to be an old school matchup, like Shaka Khan.
Wow.
Nah, I ain't buying Shaka.
Back to Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan can't go against no Mary.
All right. What about you know what? I should know this lady's name by now. I've seen her enough live to know her name. It was a duo group back in the day, and I think she actually was married to Ron Isley, but I am not missing her name right now. I can't think of it for some reason.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about.
She was on the first Mr. Big go round.
Exactly. Why can I not? You know what? We gotta go with
not her, dude. She don't got enough songs.
She does. No, she has enough. She has enough songs.
I don't know.
Believe me, she has enough songs. But I think it'd be kind of cool. I forgot dude's name already. What's his name? Ron Isley.
You said married to Ron Isley.
Yep. Used to be married to Ron Isley. Angela Winbush.
Man, come on, no.
Stop it. Cut her.
I like Angela Winbush.
I like her too. She's got a lot of great songs. But we're thinking her against maybe somebody like Anita Baker or somebody.
Okay, so
you better go get R. You better go get R. Kelly out of jail.
Why don't you just go Mary J. contemporaries? I mean, who's her contemporary?
That's
It's Mariah Carey. It is nobody else.
But that's gonna be whack. She's gonna win.
She's gonna smoke Mariah. She's gonna smoke Mariah.
Okay. I don't know who else she can go against.
Talking about Beyonce, and people actually talking about Beyonce. I think she smokes Beyonce.
They're not even the same generation, though. I mean, Mary is the queen of hip hop and R&B.
So what do you
of her time?
Yeah, she has to go eventually.
I don't know.
Who, Beyonce has to go eventually?
She has to go eventually.
Who, Beyonce?
Mary.
Oh, Mary, yeah, because Beyonce do what you want to do. She don't have to do that.
Some people just never.
Yeah.
Mary doesn't have to go. She don't have to go.
Man, they're not doing concerts no more. It's COVID. Concerts is dead.
Man, concerts gonna be popping by September. So.
Hey, has Ashanti been on there yet?
She went against Keisha Cole.
Oh, okay. So she went against Keisha Cole. Okay.
And Ashanti, another one. She has so many features. She doesn't have a lot of songs by herself that are very
good. She got a lot of ride-alongs.
That should have been a song limit.
She playing hooks. I'm like,
she got
that
hooks.
Don't count.
She got hooks. Yeah, she got hooks. I mean, she had what, 2 albums, 3 albums, but her most famous stuff is hooks. So that don't really count that much.
Now we did talk about the Maxwell. Who can Maxwell hook against?
Oh, okay, Maxwell. And did y'all come up with anybody?
Music Soul Child was the only name that.
That's interesting.
We think that would just be a good party because like Maxwell's gonna win, but that would be just a good party, you know, because Music Soul Child's got a lot of good songs.
Oh, what about Maxwell against I can't think of his name, man. Oh, I'm losing all these names today.
Hey, what's that dude you like so much? Maybe
no matter what the people say. What's his name?
No
matter what the people say. Can't let go.
I know the song.
Yeah, I'm saying that would be a good matchup.
Anthony Hamilton?
There we go. Anthony Hamilton against Maxwell.
No.
Hamilton ain't got enough.
Hamilton got a lot of songs.
He ain't got enough to go against Maxwell.
What do you mean? It's a different kind of music, though.
You need 20, but you need 20 songs. He don't have 20 songs.
He got at least 20 songs.
He got 7.
No, he don't, man. He has like 3 albums.
How many have you heard?
I've heard one. I've seen him in concert. He got 20 songs.
Dude, look, all I gotta say is Black Summer's Night Dream, Embria,
yeah,
and
Sweet,
and the Hangout Suite or whatever.
Hangout Suite, yeah, whatever it is.
Culture Could. Those are all.
Yeah, Culture Could. Yeah. You're right.
Got like 12, 10 albums.
Yeah, true. All right, so Maxwell would win that. I don't know who he doesn't have a contemporary then to go against.
Yeah, maybe we just do Maxwell against.
It's tough.
Mary
against the field.
I mean, just they don't have to be male to male or female to female. Why don't we just do Maxwell against Mary? That'd be a good competition.
That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be cool. You know what? That may be actually the better way to do it. Mary against Maxwell. That would be kind of hot. It would just be for entertainment. It wouldn't be like who's the winner.
Yeah. Mary's music is just a feeling. It's just nobody can do music like Mary. It doesn't. Put it like this: if somebody come and say, "Hey, you should go against Mary J. Blige," you just better just sit out this one. Just don't even do it. Don't even respond to the text.
Well, I think that's the point. No one's gonna go against her like that. No one's gonna do that
unless R. Kelly gets out of jail miraculously. Nobody's going against Mary.
So,
all right, whatever. All right. Hey,
so Jim, the last thing we wanted to bring up on this subject was Donnell Jones.
Yeah.
Where I Want to Be album.
Didn't he also sing What's Up?
Yeah, that's on that. It's all on this album.
It's all on one album. Yeah, he only had one.
This thing went like 6 times, 8 times platinum.
Wait, what happened?
It was produced by produced by Left Eye.
Left Eye.
Yeah, Left Eye. Yeah, Donnell Jones. Yeah.
And it was a very popular, big album for those
very big
2 or 3 years. So we were wondering Like who could go? What's another example of a one album
wonder
really that could go against
Lauryn Hill?
No,
I
don't.
said Lauryn Hill.
Do you have so many people hating on you? You know how many people love Lauryn Hill, bro?
She's the great. That's what I'm saying. She's the greatest one album artist ever.
Lauryn Hill won like 5-6 Grammys, dude.
That's why I said she's the greatest one album. She's the only person I can think of that had one album.
You sure it was only one though? It was the Miseducation.
She only had
one solo album.
We don't count the Pros.
We don't count the Fuji albums.
We don't count the Fuji albums.
Well, at least she was on other albums. No. I mean, Donnell Jones is literally one album.
He had an album before that. He actually
had an album before that. It sucked.
All right. Well, you know what? Well, isn't that Montel Jordan then?
No, hell no.
Montel Jordan had one.
He got one song.
One hit.
One song. He didn't have one album. He had one song.
All right. Well, there's a lot of people that don't fit into that, like Jaheim, but he had plenty of albums.
Man, Jaheim.
I like Jaheim. Jaheim was cool. He had plenty of albums though.
You can't.
He wasn't a one-hit wonder. He had a lot of good stuff. Donnell Jones. Well, you know, that was in the 90s or is that 2000?
Like 97, 98, something like that.
That's a long time ago. You'd have to look that up. Donnell Jones?
Maybe 98.
Who else what was the other hit song out then?
I don't know. The joint where he was in love with two women.
No, this one came out in 99.
I mean, 99? Usher was out then.
Usher was smoking.
You know what, though? This is the guy. Now, he had more than one album, but Avant.
Nah.
That would be a good matchup.
I hated Avant.
I liked Avant, man. He had
like
good solos with Kiki Wyatt.
Oh, God, I hate that lady.
Hey, they sounded good together, though.
I hate both of them people. And he always whined, and she... Ugh.
All right, what about Joe, then?
Joe against...
I never heard a Joe album.
You never heard a Joe album? Joe had a couple albums, though. He didn't have just one.
I've always heard his singles.
Pretty good album.
And I've always heard his singles.
I think today's generation knows Joe from Power.
Joe and Jaheim, that'd be a good battle.
Joe and Jaheim, that would be kind of good.
Jaheim.
What about I'm looking at Donnell Jones. He actually had 4 albums, y'all.
Yeah.
He's sleeping on Donnell.
But nobody cares about any of those.
Nobody cares about the other one.
Where I Want to Be is his best album. I get it. Oh, you know what? We talked about this fool before, John B. That brings up John B. That's the same generation.
Stop it.
Stop it. Always stop it. To John B.
Stop it. Nobody cares about John B.
It was John B. John B was out there. He was popular.
Was his album good? I remember 2 songs.
I don't really know if his album was good, but it was out. I mean, the ladies liked him.
I mean, everybody was out there, and it was like After 7.
Well, you got to think 97, 98. That was a quiet time for R&B singers. No. R&B was getting pushed to the ground by rap.
Oh, man, but there was still hits out there, though. Babyface was in there.
That's what I'm saying. There were still hits, but slowly, but they were pushing R&B artists down. And I think they were like in a flux, like we don't really know what to do here. Should we go back to soul, or should we go more hip hop, or do we just stay in our lane? I don't think
a lot of them
really knew what to do now.
A lot of them fools couldn't sing. A lot of them fools couldn't sing.
Well, exactly. And these people started. That's when people were singing hooks. Ashanti singing hooks. John B singing hooks. Joe singing hooks.
Like there's a lot of female artists that need to be thinking of it. They need to think of Leah. A lot of them. Sierra's one of them.
Well,
a lot of artists.
Well, you know, my theory is if she was still around, none of them would be in existence.
Because that one note and talking, singing, that's Aaliyah. And a lot of these women are taking her place. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people slid into that empty space.
Janae Aiko, all of them.
Yeah, Janae Aiko is definitely stealing her swag.
Definitely stole the whole
I never, you know what? I know who she is, but I can't name one song she sings. I know who she is, though.
You've heard plenty of her songs on the radio.
Yeah, I know. I hear them all the time. I just don't know it's her. I don't know what her voice sounds like.
She can't sing worth a damn.
Well, that's why I don't know what her voice sounds like.
It's just
it's not identifiable to me. Doesn't she have like a best friend she sings with, or is that I'm thinking about Doja Cat? I think.
No, she's married to, or she's not married to, but she was married.
You know what I'm talking about, Doja Cat.
DJ, the rapper dude.
Who's that?
She goes with Big Sean.
Big Sean, yeah, Big Sean.
Who goes with Big Sean?
Janae Aiko.
You know I'm not a Big Sean fan.
Why not, man?
I'm not either. But
he's horrible. He's terrible.
All right, nobody cares. All right, so guys, that is all that we're going to do with this, unless somebody has found a way to get R. Kelly out of jail.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Hey, wait, he didn't get a COVID break.
Who get a COVID break?
R. Kelly.
They didn't let him out for COVID.
Crazy.
Under the jail. He ain't get no COVID break.
Him and Bill Cosby ain't never coming home.
A lot of people got out for COVID, man. He didn't get a COVID send home order.
That's funny.
He didn't get a house arrest order.
So he could come sing. So he could come sing "Bumping Around" to a 14-year-old. No,
I guess his crimes were too serious to get a COVID break.
He's not coming out. No.
You know what? I know he applied for it. I guess he just got turned down.
Huh. I wonder why Bill Cosby. Well, you would think Bill Cosby would be in danger. They let a lot of old people out.
That's what I'm saying. They let a lot of people out because of COVID. I mean, look at. I mean, you know, a lot of politicians, a lot of ex-politicians got kicked out of jail for that.
They weren't sentenced to 50 years.
No, they weren't, but still, and they weren't violent crimes. They were white collar crimes.
They were all Republicans.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, yeah, why should you get out and everybody else don't get out? Hey, speaking of that, just to jump legalese real quick, there's a good comparison case that's out there right now. There is a man in Pennsylvania who got convicted of voting fraud. And then there is an African-American woman in Texas who got convicted for voting fraud. You seen this?
Well, that means she got convicted like 5 or 6 years ago. She's been in jail.
Yeah, that's the point. This is the difference, though. She got convicted for not knowing she couldn't legally vote. It wasn't like she made up some paperwork. It wasn't like she lied. She just generally thought she was able to vote.
Right.
The guy in Pennsylvania, he intentionally knew he couldn't vote again. He voted extra, right? Or something like that.
What was his
He intentionally voted extra. You know, he went out there, he did the form, he did his absentee ballot, whatever he wanted to do, and he illegally voted intentionally. And he got a slap on the wrist. He got like 90 days suspended sentence.
Wow.
The lady,
the punishment to her?
5 years in jail.
Yeah, this is 5 years. She's hard time.
But hold on, when you register to vote, don't they run your background?
No, she wasn't a convict at the time, to my understanding. She just wasn't registered to vote, I guess.
I don't get it.
I know it's a crazy story. We got to like look into that a little bit more, but I thought it was interesting for all this voting law changes that are going on around the world right now. I mean, you saw Florida just passed their new Voting Rights Act today. And it's not even a rights; it's a voter suppression act.
Voter suppression act. I mean, they literally want people.
That was literally signed into law today.
They literally want people standing at a box for people to turn to bed. I mean, come on.
They do, yeah. That's pretty much it.
The box is for it to be secure and for people to just drive by and drop them off. They don't need somebody standing there.
And it doesn't need to be in a building.
Oh my God.
That's what a lot of the states are doing.
They're trying to fix the election. That's all.
I mean, it's just horrible what's going on. So yeah.
It's blatant at this point. It's blatant at this point what they're trying to.
Well, ever since 2013, when the Supreme Court turned down the official Voting Rights Act and said, "Oh, we don't need it anymore," and the feds no longer control voting in the South or have any input to it, then now it's just all available to everybody.
Yeah.
We need to go back to the Voting Rights Act. That needs to get passed again, man, so badly.
Yeah.
Hey, but speaking of that, man, let's jump it on. Let's jump it on. NBA?
Yeah, man.
What's pop?
Man,
what's going on for your Wizards, man?
The Wizards are rocking it, man. I don't know what's going on or why, but they might get in the playoffs. And the big thing is Bradley Beal and
Russ.
You know, I didn't know if they would actually play well together from the beginning of the year, but they seem to like each other.
I don't understand why people didn't think. I don't understand why people didn't think they could play together. It's not like Russ pounds the ball like John Wall or Harden. He doesn't pound it. He drives and kicks.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, he moves the ball. Now, his turnovers have went down this year.
They have.
They're playing well, and Bradley can shoot. He just needed somebody to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they play well together, actually. And, you know, and Bill's not a pounder either. He's more off the ball movement type guy anyway. So they don't have a ball issue, and the ball doesn't stop on this Wizards team. I say we got to give them a shout out, man. I mean, they're the hottest team in the NBA besides the New York Knicks.
I do have an issue with the national media and Stephen A. Smith. So hard on we hold Russell Westbrook to a different standard than any other point guard in this league. You know, he's average. Why do they do it? I don't know, but they do. Because this man is.
Steven didn't say. I heard him apologize.
Let me finish. Let me finish. He's averaging a triple double again. If it was that easy, everybody would do it. Nobody at the point guard position is doing what he's doing. And they keep saying he hasn't won a championship. But these other point guards that we praise, that I don't praise, but everybody else in the national media praises, they haven't won anything either. Dame hasn't won anything. Chris Paul hasn't won anything. And neither has James Harden. But we hold Russ to a different standard than everybody else, which is whack. And they need to cut that out. It's just whack.
I say this, man. You have to appreciate Russ for what he is. You know, he's played for the Wizards for less than 7 months, and he's already tallied over 25, 26 triple-doubles. He's going to set the record for most triple-doubles in a year. You know, the Wizards Bullets as a franchise only has a total of 90 triple-doubles for all of its life, all of its history.
Wow.
And he's already did a quarter of that in 6 months. So you have to grade him on what he is, phenomenal at doing what he does and getting these numbers in this era. I think basketball is a game of errors. You know, no one's going to not say Oscar Robertson wasn't a beast, and he was. He invented the triple-double. But to me, like Tyrone said, if it's so easy, why isn't somebody else doing it? You know, who else does 24 assists and 21 rebounds in a game? That's crazy.
I think that, and only to shoot, and I'm not shooting bail because I want to, but just to say, the way we glorify stats so much, right? When we talk about people's statistics, if they're averaging 30 points or if they're, you know, if their points are high, if they got a good assist like LeBron, we expect them to lead their team, to go with that goes to deep runs in the playoffs plus championships. It's not always the case because there's a lot to go into winning a championship. I mean, there's a lot of teams there and there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, the chances are slim, right?
Yeah, numbers don't equate to winning a championship. I mean, you can ask Karl Malone and John Stockton.
Look at Karl Malone. I think that's where we get in trouble with him. His stats are so gaudy.
Exactly.
You know, but I don't think you don't play for stats. You know what I'm saying? So you play for.
But you know what? That's the thing, though. I'm not saying he's playing for stats.
I'm not saying he does that.
Yeah. I don't want to say that because I think he's just balling. Yeah, but it's what happens during the course of a game for him. It's just what he produces.
But you have had people say he's stat chasing.
He's not.
Yeah, but that's
in my opinion. He's just balling.
Yeah, he's just balling. He just plays like that.
He's just balling. I mean, hey, I think overall, man, shout out to the Wizards, man. They are killing the game. And I tell you, if I'm a 1 seed, I do not want to see the Wizards after that play-in game. If you got to face them as an 8 seed, that's not a normal 8 seed because they're going to put up 140, 150 points.
Yeah, they're going to put up.
It's not going to be cool for a first round for anybody. And, you know, if you want to let Russ get off 3-4 games, you might be in trouble. And Bradley put up 30.
But I don't know where they get to 100 and that many points. I mean,
it's time
they don't play
possession.
Rui Hachimura is the next guy, and he averages 13 points a game.
But they don't play defense. They just run.
In their last win, in their 2 wins ago, they had 6 people off the bench double figures.
Yeah, but that's not.
I'm talking about Ish Smith. Yeah, I'm talking about Jeremy Lin. I mean, whatever is Alex Lynn. I mean, you know, they're just possession game. They played the second fastest recorded game ever. Their last win. I mean, the second fastest game ever in history. Just possession. I mean, 1 rebound and the ball's at half court. And that ball's up in about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're definitely doing their thing, man. And it's good to see some winning going on with the Wizards. And hopefully, I mean, you know, I don't know if Russ is going to stay or what his feeling is about the team, but that's definitely a good backcourt. They definitely play well together.
Russ is gone, man.
Think he's gone? What are you?
He's gone.
Well, is he contractually have to stay with the Wizards, or is he?
I think he can opt out. He can opt out.
He can opt out.
Yeah.
So he's on the option next year.
I believe he is.
Oh wow. Well, he's that's too bad, man. He's probably
not saying.
But he's a West Coast guy, though. I can see why he would.
I can go back to West Coast.
Eventually, as a player, you know you're good, and you get tired of people keep clowning you because you're not winning. So he's going to go somewhere and win, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at him for that. If he wants to go chase a ring somewhere, so be it. I mean, he deserves that. He's late enough in his career where he has to think about, you know, trying to get a ring if he can get one.
Oh, maybe Portland.
No, I could Milwaukee.
You got to get rid of somebody then.
I could see him in Milwaukee.
You know what? That's actually pretty nice.
Ooh.
That's a nice. Why don't you make a magical trade request on that one? That one's kind of hot. You know how they do it on ESPN and they do these proposed trades for like the NFL. I'm just like
Aaron Rodgers right now.
I'm like, can you do that? Like they did one the other day. Like, you know what? I think we'll give Green Bay 2 first-round picks and 2 starters and a 3rd and a 4th. And I think Green Bay would take it. Of course they would take it if someone actually did it. We need to start doing that for the NBA. Hey, shout out to basketball.com. You know, I think we should do that ourselves. We should start proposing NBA trades and let's just see what happens. Maybe we can talk them into existence.
Give them Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, and a 1st-round pick
to the Wizards.
Yep.
But you just said he could opt out, so they ain't even got to do that.
They ain't got to do all that though. But they ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, we got to do like
the agents can go wherever you want.
Now, Julius Randle, I saw today. You know his option. His contract is an option for next year.
Dude, he just made himself. He's gone. He made himself $100 million.
but this is the catch, though. He can sign the extension 4 years, $108 million for the 2021-22 season. If he waits and signs at the end of next season, he can sign for 5 years, about $201. If he waits 1 year, he can make himself an extra $75-80 million if he wants to bet on himself.
Oh man!
So you saying you wouldn't bet on yourself for an extra $80 million?
Dude, you know how fragile the NBA is, bro. You could
get hurt.
You could, yeah, man. You got to take $100 million.
It's not football or baseball.
But see, out of that $200 million, how much is that guaranteed?
All of it. You know, NBA contracts are guaranteed contracts. So if you sign for 205, you get in 205.
There's no way.
I think I might have to take that bet. He could sign. I mean, it's 1 year, man. He needs to ball out for 1 more year.
So why
Julius Randle is not going? He's not going to ball out for him.
He's an all-star. He's probably going to be 2nd team this year. You don't think he can do it again next year?
He's top 4 in the MVP candidate right now.
Exactly.
He's not going to ball out again like this again. You crazy?
Why not?
Why not?
Because he's been in the league for 7 years and hasn't done it.
Maybe it's his time.
Yeah, maybe he just got his.
How many? Dude, no. Take the money and run.
Hey, bird in the hand.
You think this is a one and done? You can keep back to averaging 16 points a game?
This is the first year. So this is the first year he's been in shape. This is the first year he's taken the game serious. So you think all of a sudden he's changed every habit that every team did not want of his? You're crazy.
Well, he did because he's in shape and he's doing it.
He's most
I'm saying if he maintains the same mindset into next season.
And if Charles Barkley would have stayed in shape, he would have won a ring. What are you talking about?
Bark was in shape for a good 6-year run, man. He didn't want to ring.
He was in shape.
That ain't his fault.
He was in shape for 93, and then after that, he said the hell with it.
He was in the best shape of his life.
We've seen a lot of players be in shape for 1 year to get contracts and then suck.
But he still balled out and was an MVP candidate regardless of shape.
Stop it.
Hold on.
Take the money.
I'm on Julius Randle. Now,
take the money and run.
Barring injury, I think he could earn that extra $80 million. I'm impressed with Julius, man. He's balling.
Yeah, I mean,
the Knicks are going to have to pay him. You think the Knicks are going to let him go after this season?
They're not going to pay him no 200. They're not going to pay him no 200 million.
They don't have any max players. They got money to spend.
Then the Knicks will always be the Knicks.
The Knicks are in actually pretty good shape for the next couple of years. Really, they will be because they don't have any max players. They've been building up some draft picks, and they have plenty of little assets to move around in the next couple of years.
So you are sitting here telling me that you are comfortable with paying Julius Randle 5 years, $200 million.
I'm not saying it's right, but it's the market. If it was my money, I wouldn't.
That GM will be fired.
That's not my money.
Why? I mean, he's the franchise. He's obviously the franchise player.
He's Juwan Howard. Stop it. Stop. Come on.
Juwan
got, he had 1 year, got paid. What did he do after that?
He was done after that. He wasn't the same player.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that goes back to that was the Wizards' bad luck. I mean, that happened with Gilbert Arenas. That happened with Juwan Howard. That happened with pretty much anyone the Wizards signed.
Yeah. The only reason they got
Bradley Beal. The
only reason Julius Randle is on the Knicks team is because they had to spend the money or they would get fined.
Well, exactly. Hence, his contract wasn't even guaranteed. This is the deal. You're gonna pay him the 108 on the 4-year extension, or you're gonna pay him the 202 or whatever it is in 2022. If you can't bring back another player equal or better, unless you're going to get a franchise player, they're going to pay him because they don't have a choice.
They're going to do the extension. They're going to try their best to do the extension.
Of course, they're going to try.
If they have to do that max, they're going to let him go.
Well, you know what? I think they're on a different road now, the Knicks. So, you know what? You might be right. Maybe they'll be like, hey, let's save some money, but we got to get a quality player back. So let's just see what happens. Anyway, shout out to him, man, because he's balling. Knicks will at least be in the playoff.
They got
play in. They're above the play in, right?
No, they're 4 seed.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not even in the play in.
Yeah, they're 4 seed
in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're 4 seed.
Yeah, they in the playoffs. So shout out to the Knicks. I just think the league's always better when the Lakers are good, the Knicks are good, and the Sixers are good. I just think the league's better when that happens. So
don't forget about the Celtics.
I don't care about the Celtics, man. Ain't no Celtics.
People watch. People watch the Celtics.
I know people watch the Celtics. It don't mean I like them. But you're right. When the Celtics are good, the league's good. It brings up viewership and all that good stuff. You know that.
All that good stuff.
I just think the Celtics don't have a chance this year.
No.
I just don't see it happening.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't trying to play him.
Oh, no, Tatum's a bad boy. I ain't trying to play him either in a series. But nah.
I'd rather play the Wizards than Boston.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because you have to match up with Tatum and Brown. It's a tough matchup for any team to match up against both of them in the same.
I don't want to play against Tatum.
Well, the Celtics are better defensively, I think. So
Tatum,
yeah, they're better.
Tatum's on a hot streak. I don't want nothing to do.
He had to be because Brown was down the last couple games.
What are the Celtics right now? Where are they at?
I'm looking at the standings, and I got people going to grind me up about it, but I got Milwaukee beating Brooklyn in that second round.
You got Milwaukee beating Brooklyn in the second round.
Yes, I do.
Just beat them twice in a row.
I got them beating. I'm gonna tell you why. As much as I don't like Giannis's game, even though he's played better, shooting that little 15-footer over the last 2 games, he's been looking good with that. He's taking easier shots, which is great. They don't have a soul that can guard that. Kevin Durant looks terrible against Giannis.
No, because Giannis just bully him, man.
And Blake Griffin don't stand a chance.
He don't have a chance. He's not as spry as he used to be.
And when they put Brook Lopez or at the 3-point line, DeAndre Jordan gets pulled out the paint, and the paint's wide open for Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brooklyn. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to have to change some things up come playoffs.
And Tyrone just said something crazy. He thinks the Milwaukee Bucks are gonna beat Brooklyn in the second round.
It's not that crazy.
It's not crazy, but it's a reach.
No, it's not, because Kyrie and Durant don't play well. I don't know if you guys noticed that. They look like Durant and Russ when they were in Oklahoma. They just take turns shooting the ball.
The only difference is they actually like each other for some reason.
There's no ball movement. There's no defense. It's actually playground basketball. So if they don't figure out a real way to play the game, go fishing.
Well, I think what's been missing for them though is Harden, and I think actually Harden brings them together.
I disagree.
Yeah, but I don't think he brings,
because he pounds the ball.
He doesn't bring a defensive identity to the team. And
not at all, but he makes their offense pretty smooth though.
He does make the offense smooth, but
does pounding the ball in the
he doesn't pound the ball that much with them.
Yes, he does.
You got him wrong.
He pounds the ball, dude.
He more incorporates the offense there. He tries to run it like Nash ran Phoenix back in the day.
And that's not pounding the ball?
Well, that's part of the point guard in that offense. They're supposed to do that.
And how many championships has that offense won?
It's 1-0. One of my favorite players, Amari Stoudemire, didn't get a whiff at a ring playing in that offense. I agree.
You can't pound the ball, go around 5 pick and rolls, then throw the ball to the corner and think that's going to win your championship.
Hey, it's going to be a nice matchup. I can see it. All right, Philly's going to have, they're at the 1 seed, right? Okay, so Charlotte's sitting in the 8 seed now.
They'll kill them.
Who knows who's going to be? It could be Charlotte. It could be the Wizards. So, Ben, what do you make out for the Wizards? You think they can make some damage in the first round, or you think they won and done?
Who they play?
They'll play Philly as it stands now if they get
whatever. They're not going to win.
Hey, they play Philly tough, man. Hey, they play Philly tough. It's a sweet, but at least it would be entertaining.
Get the brooms out.
All right. I think the most competitive first round will be Knicks and Hawks. Who do y'all got on that?
I got Knicks at 6.
I got the Hawks.
You're gonna take offense over the Knicks?
I got the Hawks. I got the balding 21-year-old. How old is that dude?
He need to let that go, by the way.
Who, Trae Young?
I feel for him, but he's too young for that. I get it, but
I'll take that.
I got the Knicks in 6.
I tend to agree. I think the Knicks can bully them to death. And I think Randall will just average 35 and no win.
McMillan got the boys playing.
Nate, he goes back to my thing. Nate can coach, can't he?
Nate can coach. Look at Indiana now.
Don't shake your head, Tyrone.
Look at Indiana now.
Coach. Look at Indiana. They about to fire their coach.
They traded.
We had McMillan.
Oladipo traded everybody.
He was in the playoffs.
We had Nate.
Oladipo traded everybody. I mean, Indiana traded everybody. Like, stop.
That team is no worse than what Nate had, and Nate still had them.
Okay, since we're talking about Nate, what did he do in Portland with Brandon Roy and Marcus Aldridge?
Brandon Roy got hurt every year.
Yeah, he was hurt.
He wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt when Nate was there. He wasn't hurt. Stop.
Yes, he was hurt.
You wonder why they fired him? Wonder why they fired him? Because he lost in the playoffs in the first round for 5 years straight. Google it.
Who beat him?
I don't care who beat him. You such a good coach. Get out the first round.
He can't help it. He can have better talent. Talent always wins. We know that.
Okay. You see, Dame ain't losing in the first round. He waving bye-bye by himself.
Dame ain't making a whiff to the finals, the conference finals. Who cares what
he ain't losing?
We talking about coach.
He ain't losing in the first round.
We talking about coaching, man. We ain't talking about players.
All I gotta say is
I heard Terry Stotts is on the block. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all didn't see that? Terry Stotts. I heard he's on the block.
I don't even know what that is, dude.
He's the coach of the Trailblazers. So you just talking about Dame, bro. What are we talking about?
Because he's trash. I don't care about him. He's trash.
If Dame's such a beast, then why he probably gonna get fired?
Let's look at Nate McMillan's coaching career. Since we here,
coaching matters because Dame is so great, but yet Terry Stotts may be on the block. That's what
your boy Nate McMillan also had the Seattle Supersonics.
Not a bad run with them.
Did he have a winning record there?
I don't know. Tell me.
I could tell you. No. He won 40 and 42.
What's his overall record?
Wait, 40 or 32?
Wasn't so he had a winning record? Was
40 and 42 is not a winning record.
Oh, 40 or 42. Okay.
Was Seattle even still a team then? What are we talking about?
Look,
that was prior to them drafting Kevin Durant, right? And them coming to Oklahoma City Thunder, right?
So you want to ignore the
I'm not. Can you imagine who played on that team?
So that's what we're saying.
You got to keep in mind that was before they drafted Kevin Durant.
So we want to erase that.
They were getting sold and was getting sent to OKC, which means they were supposed to lose every game that season, probably.
So do you want to erase the Seattle years? We can ignore this.
Yeah, erase it because it's a non-year.
Let's go to Portland.
Wait,
no problem.
How are you going to erase the Seattle years?
Because he's saying they didn't have any talent.
Because they were getting ready to be sold to OKC. Who cares about that?
You see,
they had to dump payroll so they could move the franchise. That means he had no players.
Okay, let's go to Portland.
Okay.
First year in Portland, missed the playoffs. Second year in Portland, missed the playoffs. Third year in Portland, missed the playoffs. Fourth year in Portland, lost in the first round. Then lost in the first round again. Then lost in the first round again. Then he was fired. Stop it.
What? I'm just trying to understand why you hate so much, man.
I don't hate Nate McMillan, but you trying to pump him up like he's some great coach. Stop.
I think he's a very good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Indiana, since he's so good in Indiana, lost first round. Stop. Yeah, stop.
I just say this.
Stop. Brett Brown. He's Brett Brown.
I think he does more with less than any other coach in the league right now. He does more with less. That's his history. You know what? I'd love to see him coach the Clippers. I would love to see him coach. I'd love to see him coach Dame. He ain't never had a chance to coach Dame. Hey, if they're going to get rid of Stotts, how about we go hire Nate McMillan then back?
And hold on. In 2011, 2012, didn't he have Dame?
I don't know. Did he?
Let's look when Dame got.
Dame wasn't that good then, was he? Dame was in his infancy, wasn't he?
Dame was always good.
Dame was always a beast. What are you talking about right now?
Was he like a rookie or something?
We're about to find out.
How long Dame been in the league anyway?
He was drafted in 2012. So Dame's rookie year, Nate McMillan got fired.
You can't count that. That's his rookie year.
Yeah.
We got a lot of you can't count here, right?
You can't count that.
But that was his rookie year.
We got a lot of
That was Dame's rookie year.
So, but
was he shooting from 40 feet back then? No.
So what? Why he had Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge?
Man, Brandon Roy was hurt.
Okay, he had LaMarcus Aldridge.
Why we keep bringing up Brandon Roy?
You
know how many games
he had LaMarcus Aldridge?
I can literally count on my hand how many games Brandon Roy played in.
See, you're smoking crack right now. Stop.
You too young to remember that he was not around a whole lot. I'm just telling you now.
So he only had 5 good years. Okay, no problem. You had LaMarcus Aldridge.
Look,
right?
He was using.
You had LaMarcus Aldridge, right? You had LaMarcus Aldridge at your prime.
Brandon Roy was using.
You know you're not answering the question.
I'm just telling you this.
Did he have LaMarcus Aldridge at the prime? Did he have a Marcus Aldridge in his prime?
Let me ask you a question.
Because you're talking about Brandon Roy.
I'm going to answer the question.
I'm going
to keep talking. So I'm going to answer the question. Brandon Roy invented load management. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm done. I can't hear you. I hope you muted yourself.
I'm muting.
You better mute him because he don't know what he's talking about. That's all I'm saying.
Did he have LaMarcus Aldridge in his prime? You notice you didn't answer that question.
Yeah,
but who else did
That's
he have?
one player.
Thank you.
That's one player, dog.
One player can get you past the first round. Stop. David get past the first round for years by himself.
James Harden
what are you talking about?
Round?
Yes.
By himself?
James Harden ain't never lost in the first round with Houston. What are you talking about?
You don't even like James Harden, and you pumping him up now just to prove your point.
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about right now?
He was in the West. I'm sure they had to get past the Spurs or the Lakers or the Suns when they were good. I mean, come on, man. It was the West.
You're making excuses.
It's not the East where you can just roll over and win the first round.
Are we related to Nate McMillan somehow? Because you make a lot of excuses.
We not at all, but I'm
making a lot of excuses for this clown.
I'm sure.
My point is this: Nate is a good coach, and he should have as many opportunities as any old average other coach out there.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's it. Yeah, say that. As often as they rehash these same dudes.
What's the difference between him and Alvin Gentry?
Alvin Gentry's a good coach too.
What's the difference?
That's my point. It's the larger point. People like that should get a chance again. When you had the George Karls of the world, and you had the Frank Hoibergs of the world, and you got whoever, I say you retread Alvin Gentry and Nate McMillan as many times as you want to. That's all.
George Karl hasn't coached since Carmelo left. Like,
I understand.
You keep saying George Karl, like.
I said his name once. I'm thinking more like Frank Hoiberg. You said it in episode 3.
I'm
thinking more about like, Thibodeau. I'm thinking more like the Van Gundy.
Hold on. The
Van Gundys.
No.
That's what I'm saying. They're average coaches, right?
So you're saying Nate McMillan
Nate's no different or no worse than any of them. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying Nate McMillan is just as good a coach as Tom Thibodeau in New York?
They're different coaches.
Are they the?
Tom's a better talent.
Who's a better coach?
Tom's had better talent.
So you're saying this New York team has better talent than that Atlanta team?
I'm not saying that.
No, Atlanta will beat them.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to play in the playoffs. We'll see.
Tom Thibodeau's going to smoke him.
Now, in my defense, I picked the Knicks. I think the Knicks will beat them, actually.
Jesus Christ.
I just like pissing you off, man. That joint's funny, dude.
You asshole, man.
Hey, I still like Nate. I don't care what anybody say. I'm a Nate.
He's a black Brett Brown. He's Brett Brown.
Brett. Hey, I like Brett as a coach. He just wasn't made to take them to the next level. That's all. And that's fine. That's what coaching carousel is all about. I remember when Houston was like a pretty good basketball team. And then the next thing you know, they brought Bill Fitch in and they went to the championship like that year. I mean, it happens. It's like when you brought Larry Brown into Philly and he lifted them up with one player, Iverson, and took them to a championship. I mean, coaching can do that. It's like when Pat Riley came down to the Heat and said, I'm going to take you to the promised land like I did everybody else. And he did it. Coaching matters. I just think if Nate ever gets in the right position, he'll get a chance to do that too. That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to keep popping him up till he actually gets a team with some talent.
Whatever.
And
the opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
Have fun losing.
Support black coaches. Support black coaches.
That's all I'm doing. I'm supporting them. Exactly.
You support them no matter how bad they are.
You're listening to No Culture for Old Men podcast with your hosts, Ben, Tyrone, and James.